Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us at the Horizon Map Your Path discussion group. Before we get started, I would like to acknowledge that we meet this afternoon on the lands of the Kaurna people and that we honor their elders, past, present, and emerging. So my name is Liz Grandmason, and I'm just started a Master of Screen and Media, and my colleagues here on the panel with me are all in the Horizon Award program. And what we're going to do today is give you an idea of how to map out your Horizon journey if you don't yet have an idea of where to begin. And given all the possibilities there are with the Horizon program, it can be a little bit daunting to figure out where to start. So we're going to give you an idea of how these people have mapped out their journey, and you're going to see that all of their stories are different. And that's actually what makes Horizon pretty special. So, our panelists here, to my left, Emily Daly, third year studying Bachelor of Business and a Bachelor of Health Sciences. Govinda Podell, completing his honors in medical science. Melanie Ward, to my right, third year of her Bachelor's in Archaeology. And finally, Todd Deering, a PhD candidate in English Literature. So I thank you all for volunteering for this little experiment of ours. And so here we go. A lot of people don't know where to start. And some people that we've talked to at sessions have asked, well, what do you get out of it? So Gov, what convinced you to start out in the Horizon Award?
Click that on feed.
Right. What was the question again?
What convinced you to start out in the Horizon Award?
What convinced me? First of all, I didn't know about Horizon Award until my second year, which was unfortunate because, but once I know about Horizon Award, and then I thought about what am I going to do after I graduate. I'm going to have a certificate that's going to tell me that I have the technical knowledge. But is that all the employer looking for? Mm-hmm. Is there more that they're looking for? And then that's what made me think I need to improve myself. I need to enhance my employability skills, so I will be more employable when I graduate. That's the reason I joined the Horizon team.
Cool. How about you, Mel? What was your impetus to join?
It was free.
Awesome.
It's free professional help offered through Flinders, and when I was realizing one day I'm going to have to pay back my HEX debt, I'm like, well, make the use of all services that are offered while I'm at Flinders.
That's a good point. I can't imagine how much it would cost us to actually get some of this training elsewhere. And how...
A lot.
Definitely. Todd, how did you get started? Did you map out a plan, or did you just dive in?
I didn't have so much of a plan, but when I was enrolling late 2016, I was looking at Flinders' website, and I just saw the Horizon Award, and basically it was opportunities came up, and I thought there's so many opportunities here to develop in different ways, and that was something I really wanted to do. So I took that on board and just dived straight in and did what interests me and what would be beneficial in the future, and
And Emily, did you start out with the workshops, or did you jump right into volunteering because you have a lot of volunteer experience on your CV, I noticed?
That's true, yeah. I mean, for me, going into why I started the Horizon Award, I'm doing two very broad degrees, HR and health science, and I really wanted some direction as to where my career might actually take me. And so through Horizon Award, I've been able to actually map out a bit of a plan as to what activities I can do to develop myself and develop some of the interests that I'm passionate about. So, sort of through Horizon, the workshops, the voluntary work experience I've done, I've actually developed, more of a passion in HR, and I found that that's actually really what I want to do. And I don't think that I would have been able to have found that out without, taking this Horizon journey. So, that's kind of how I started out.
That's a good point. I don't know if people are thinking about it that way in terms of discovering something that they didn't already know. So that's actually a really good point. Gov, did you have a map or a strategy when you started, or did you have certain things that you knew you wanted to work on?
Definitely, I wanted to work on communication skills and other employability skills, such as negotiation. I always being little hesitated to negotiate with my employer on the the entitlements and other things. So this the workshop I attended was really good to give an insight how do I go about negotiating with employer in terms of what is my entitlement and what I can get how I can get the most out of the employer that I'm working for.
Excellent. That's
Thanks.
a good point. Todd, can you tell us some of the activities that you've been involved in? I know that the public speaking group is kind of a core passion.
Yeah, sure. So done a number of things. A lot of the things were kind of just part of doing my PhD study, things like conferences and other seminars and that, but also I joined the Horizon Student Partners program, and with that we started doing a team project of running a series of public speaking workshops to teach students different aspects of public speaking skills, everything from body language to using your voice to different professional contexts, things like that. So that was quite a not only team building exercise but a good leadership exercise, and also the public speaking aspect of that. So I've tended to focus on public speaking and also leadership skills. I also did a leadership summit late last year, which was quite helpful, and I was one of the Scrum Masters for that, which helped facilitate the event. And we've done other career interview skill evenings and things like this. So it's quite diverse, and you really can choose exactly what you want to do to progress your own career and development. There's so much diversity, and you can even use the things that you might already be doing to claim Horizon points. So,
Right, that's a good point.
yeah.
Yep. Mal, you've got a lot of volunteer experience too. I know you're going in about 10 different directions right now. You want to tell us some of the activities that you have worked on as a result of Horizon?
As a result of Horizon, the Horizon Awards sort of helps you take note of those transferable skills, and when you're in an archaeology degree, you don't think at all anything about the fact that it teaches you communication skills until someone points it out. And then when you find you have an interest, I've got an interest in space archaeology, so when I went into the space community, I discovered my interest was unique, but it was also a way to get along with other people in engineering and science backgrounds, and I had the sort of edge to be able to help them with their endeavors. So through that, I'm now the Flinders University representative for Australian Youth and Aerospace Association, trying to help them just figure out how they can get the word out about aerospace and how we can build a more strong community. And I'm also the team event coordinator for the Fast Solar Car team. And that's definitely not something I would have thought of doing, but it's a lot of fun, and also getting to post on social media and share fun events.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a lot of the transferable skills that get brought up in a lot of workshops, and getting to notice those is what I've done as a result of Horizon.
And who knows, you might be driving a fast solar car doing archaeology on the moon or under the sea.
I don't think anyone's going to let me drive a car anytime soon, but we'll see.
Emily, we also touched on your volunteering and some of the work experience that you've done, and you've been involved in mentoring as well, both receiving and giving sort of mentoring experiences. Can you talk about what it's like to be on both sides of that?
Sure. So, yeah, I've been both a mentor and a mentee through different Horizon programs. So I'm currently a mentor in the Uni Access program, and that is a program which links students like myself up with students in the university who are living with a disability or a mental health issue. And the idea of the program is to be able to support an individual student and help them in their journey, whatever they need through university. And as a mentor, it's been such a rewarding experience because I've been able to see my student transition into university, someone who was a mature age student, so actually mentoring someone older than me, which was a bit different. But what I found is I was able to help the student with their organisational skills and helping direct them to services at the university, and they've actually been able to successfully pass their first semester here, and they want to continue on with their studies now, which has been fantastic. So I'm really proud of them. And as a mentee myself, I've just recently in the Inspire Mentor program, I've got an industry mentor from the HR industry, and she is meeting up with me on a sort of monthly basis, and she's offered me help looking at my resume, helping me map out, what are my type of career goals, helping me think about what kind of internship programs or graduate programs I could apply for. And she can give me individual personalised advice about how I could go about applying for these. So I think that's a real edge, to be able to have not only a contact in the industry, but someone who can help me improve those skills that I'll need to get a job as well.
Excellent.
So yeah, both sides of the mentee-mentor coin that you can do through Horizon is just amazing. Would definitely recommend. Yeah.
Excellent. Gov, you had an opportunity to go to a conference that you've also applied to your Horizon Award. Tell us about that experience.
Oh yeah, actually, I got a travel grant to go to Cape Town, South Africa recently, last month.
Oh, excellent.
It was through Golden Key, but I joined Golden Key because I was a part of Horizon Award.
Yep.
And being in Horizon Award, I thought, how I can make the most out of this, and then I'll look beyond the workshop. So I joined Golden Key committee and then became community service officer, and now I'm vice president. So, and then Golden Key got me a lot of things. I got a lot of experience in community service. Plus, I got an opportunity to do volunteering, and then this was the conference. Attending the conference was really great. It was international conference, and everything was paid. It was really nice to meet all the high achieving students from around the world, and then connect with them. Was a really great experience there.
And anything that you learned through Horizon that you put to work there?
Yes, obviously there was a lot of workshop there, and then like networking.
Yep.
The networking skill that I learned from the Horizon workshop I used there to network with a lot of people. I've got like 60 odd LinkedIn connections
right.
just from that event alone. Yeah,
Excellent.
that was
Excellent.
Those workshops are actually quite helpful for when you attend a conference. I attended the Australian Space Research Conference last year, and I actually held Martin's notes, because Martin's one of our career counselors here, and he runs a workshop for business and workplace presentations, and one of the people who I am now good friends with in the industry actually found me reviewing them beforehand and sort of helped me with some friendly advice, because he could see I was a bit nervous, and that now also with just someone reaching out and saying, oh look, here's a newbie, and if you try your best, put your foot forward, and use your notes from your workshops that you've attended, you can be pretty successful at a conference.
Excellent. That's excellent.
Liz, do you want to use this one? Because I think your microphone
Am I
is
off?
a bit faint. I'm not sure, but it's just not as loud as the other ones.
All
So
right.
maybe use
Go ahead and
that
turn
one.
that off.
That's okay. Just hold it nice and close. Yeah.
For those of you who are finishing up your degrees, what is one big takeaway that you've gotten out of the Horizon program?
Who do you want to start with?
You can
I'm
go right ahead.
starting? Yeah. Okay. I think the thing that I'm taking away from the Horizon program most is just an ability to be able to articulate the experiences that I've had external to my degree, and an ability to be able to explain to an employer how the different activities I've done have contributed to my professional development, and how they're going to help me be the best employee for that employer as well. I think if you go to Martin's workshops, he uses a method called the STAR method, which is just ingrained in my brain now, of how you answer interview questions. And it's just a way of a really succinct way of being able to answer to an interviewer and specifically answer what they've asked you instead of just rambling. So yeah, if you go to Martin's workshops, you'll learn a bit more about that. So yeah, just an ability to articulate your experiences to an employer is what I'm taking away from Horizon. Should we go to Gov next? Or?
I was going to head over to Todd. I'm not quite sure how far along in your PhD you are.
About halfway through, so a bit over a year.
Yeah, but you've been in Horizon for a while, so what's the biggest takeaway for you?
I'd say it's a combination of things. The people involved, the skills and development that you learn, because we don't often know what we don't know, and entering the workforce without being prepared is probably, it's obviously not as advantageous of having some skills and like you were saying, these STAR techniques and different things, like actually knowing about how to bridge what you're learning through your uni course with the world out there is really important, because you're going to be in so many different situations, and having these skills behind you is really useful. So I think it's like the skill development and the people involved, and feeling like what I'm doing is also sort of university-wide and not just my own small area in the Haas College as well. But yeah,
that's actually a good point. We learn, I think, so much in our own majors and our own degrees, and then we don't get to practice the things that we will necessarily use in the work world. And we were just talking about that today, the STAR method in particular, how once you learn to think that way in that pattern, it's second nature and you don't have to worry about it anymore, which is super convenient when you're filling out tons of applications.
Yeah, and it can save a lot of time. If you've got that extra edge when you're going for employment, it gives that advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Gov, for anybody who's still unsure about Horizon and doesn't know where to start, what advice would you give them?
Pass that on.
Thank you.
Where to start?
Where to start?
Well, we have a great resources for the whole year plan, don't we? Like the a yearly plan, or you can stick to that, or you can have your own plan and then start from there. First thing is enroll into Horizon Award online, and then that's where you start. And so once you're in the Horizon Award flow side, then you can go there, and then you start getting emails about when the workshops is happening and when the other activities are happening and how you can get involved into those. And then that's where you start building your points and the confidence.
Yeah, nice. I like to ask sort of unique experience questions. So what is one thing you've done as a result of Horizon that you would not have done if it had not been for Horizon? You can go right ahead, Mel.
I suppose attend that conference. I really wanted to go and present what I was working on, but I had magnificent mentors from my university office to help me, but some of the things I just didn't know to ask. And when those things came up in workshops, such as the business and work presentations, I'm realizing like, oh, that's something that I actually need. And I just didn't know to ask that because it just wasn't anything that even occurred to me. And I had amazing help from my department, but I wouldn't have done that, or even put my hand up recently for AYAA. We're working with a secondary school to perhaps start and help put a sort of connection with the students to give them access to university students that are in their areas of interest in STEM, and try and encourage more collaboration with the secondary schools. So we're really excited about that, and I would have never done that a year ago, nor be a team event coordinator.
Nice.
Well done, Mel.
How about you, Todd?
I was just thinking having the opportunity through the Horizon Student Partners Program, which is a yearly event where you can nominate to be part of that team and do sort of additional Horizon things. That's what we're all from. Having the opportunity to work with the actual Horizon staff like Beth and Martin, and through the careers team as well, because they're very professional in what they do, and it's kind of that step up into a professional working environment almost, volunteering obviously, but you're actually developing these skills in a professional team, which is, I would have never thought I would have done something like that, and without Horizon it wouldn't have happened. Yeah.
Excellent. How about you, Em?
I think what everyone tells you need to do at university is that you need to get experience. You need to get work experience. You need to get real life experience. And I didn't know where to start with that. Where do you get it? How do you talk to people about getting it? And I was too nervous to even do it in the first place and ask people about it. But through Horizon, I've found, now that I've developed some of those transferable skills to be able to talk to people and communicate, work in teams, etc., I was like, yes, I can do this. I can apply for work experience. And earlier this year, in the mid-semester break, because I don't get an elective to do a placement, I did voluntary work experience for 2 weeks. And now on my resume, I have HR experience, so that next year when I apply for graduate programs, it's not just this person who's coming with an HR degree, it's someone who has actually developed skills in that area. So I would highly recommend that to anyone who doesn't have an elective in their degree. Definitely you can do that through the Horizon Award and be insured and everything by the university and get that experience. I would have never done that without the university and Horizon's help. So yeah, that's been fantastic.
Well, the thing that I did with the Horizon Award is volunteering, because the being in a Horizon Award prompted me, oh look, how can I get the more out of a Horizon Award? And I look for things, and then I look for volunteering opportunities. I got the volunteering opportunity with muscular dystrophy. And now it's not I go there just for volunteering, just to get the point. It's my passion. Every time I go volunteer, and I get this feeling of like, rewarding. Yeah, I'm helping somebody, in their lives. I'm making difference to their life by just volunteering. That was one of the things I wouldn't have done without being in a Horizon Award.
And if that's all, I hope you'll join me in thanking our panel.